Hi, my name is Luis, and this is the first part of a series of videos where you can learn about OCR workflows and how you can implement them in your cloud solutions. So, the first part is just experimenting with the model and using notebooks. So, this is a kind of cool part. I love this part because you can iterate about it and learn about the dependencies about the libraries and the things you need to consider in your workflow. So this is like the lab part. So this model, which is the DeepSeek-OCR, it's a hiding phase. So if you don't have a code, you can create it. Just hiding phase.co. It's not .com, it's .co. So you can search the DeepSeek model OCR2. Okay, this is it. So you have certain links here. If you want to dive into the repo and learn about the techniques they're used, so you can check out the GitHub repo, official GitHub repo of this DeepSeek OCR2. They explain you how they develop this thing, and if you are like a nerd like me, for example, and you want to learn more about the paper, I read it, the paper. It's kind of cool. This technique of visual language model to recognize text. So you can check out that thing if you want. But we're gonna focusing into the implementation of the model. I mean the usage, the engineering parts. So you need GPU. This is mandatory. You cannot run this model without GPU. Actually, they say that in the official GitHub repo. I know there are certain ways to work around this restriction, but I recommend you to use GPU. There are a lot of cloud providers that offer free GPU. One of them are Modal. You can check that into Modal. Okay, Modal is a GPU cloud provider, and they offer you, I think it's $30 per month for free. So you can subscribe and just use the GPU, the credits for GPU. Okay, so this is my main dashboard. So here's a section, it's notebooks. And here you can create a notebook. So we're gonna create a notebook here right now. Okay, this is notebooks. Here you can see in the left part, you have like the compute profile. I mean, the specification of the compute you want. For this model, we don't need a lot of CPU. So I'm gonna use just one core. RAM, we need RAM a little bit because we're gonna upload the model into RAM for a certain time, and then it's like the middle part between CPU and GPU. So we put the RAM at 16 gigabytes because that's the minimum requirement of the weight of model. And the GPU, you can try to use an NVIDIA T4, but I recommend you to use an NVIDIA L4 because if you use NVIDIA T4, maybe you're gonna get like 95% of usage, and it's kind of dangerous because maybe you will need more GPU. So I'm gonna use the NVIDIA L4, just one of them. It cost me $1.3 per hour. So I'm gonna just save the changes here. Okay. And then we can just implement it. So they define the libraries here, and they say you need Python 3.12 and Qt 11.8. This is mandatory actually. If you try to use exactly the same thing they refer here, probably you're gonna get conflicts between the libraries. So I recommend you to follow the next steps that I'm gonna do. So the first step is installing the libraries. So I don't know if you know bash commands, but you can do bash commands inside notebooks using this magic. command, which is double percentage icon the bash. And here you're gonna write cat the EOF, well now EOF, and then you're gonna put it on requirements in a requirements text, requirements.txt, and it will end up into EOF. Okay, and between the EOF things, you can just copy these libraries and put them here. And maybe you're asking about the last one. So the last one, you can put like that into the requirements file. You can use specified libraries and their versions, but not like the restriction of the library, because here we need like a specific restriction of the library, which is without build isolations. So that's why we just need these libraries here. Okay, so this command will create file, which is a requirements.txt on the root. And why on the root? Because if you check out the actual path we're standing right now, you can do it just with pwd. You can see it's on root. So all your files that you create, it will end up on the root path. So you can see it here, it's a requirements.txt, and if you open that up, you can see the libraries and their versions. And if you don't specify the version, it will take the latest one. Okay. Nice. So now we can go with the other thing, which is this thing. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know, but in Modal, you can use UV commands. So that's kind of cool, because I can just do pip install or just running this thing, because it supports UV. If you don't know what is UV is like pip, but it's fastest as hell. So I recommend you to use it. So the thing that I found is that this flash attention library is not working properly. So I'm gonna use the latest one. I'm just erasing the version. And yeah, I'm specifying now, well, isolation. So I can do this thing. Oh, I forget to run the requirements file here. I'm gonna stop this thing. Okay. So before that, we need to install the requirements file. So it will be uv pip install requirements. Okay, so here is installing the libraries that I specify here in the requirements.txt. You just need to wait for the libraries to be installed. Okay, done. So then we need to install the flash attention library. So we're gonna use uv pip install flash attention without specifying the version, because it's not working properly. This version that they specify here, the 2.7.3. So we just install the latest one, and we are using this option, which is no build isolation, which is necessary for the model with the DeepSeek-OCR2 model. So you can just run that cell, just preparing the packages for that. Okay, cool. And then it recommends that you need to restart the kernel to use the update packages. So we can do that just clicking on restarting option here. Okay. And then the next thing you need to do is reinstalling the Torch and Torch Vision libraries. And we need to do this thing because probably if you're going to use a notebook, this notebook has a CUDA version. I don't know what is the CUDA version of this notebook, by the way. So we can just check that out here. Just putting NVIDIA SMI. So this is the 13 version. The Hugging Face recommend 11.8. Okay, it doesn't matter. That's why we're doing certain changes on the official repo. So you need to uninstall Torch and Torch Vision, and then you need to install Torch and Torch Vision Oh, they complete it. And on the latest part, which is 121, CU 121. This is not 121, this is 12.1. So this is a way that you can define the CUDA version of the wheels. So the wheels are specified for certain CUDA versions. So here the repo needs 11.8. So we define that here, 11.8, just 11.8. We can run that, and it's uninstall them, and it's again install them. Okay, cool, works. So now we need to use the model. That's it. That's the only configuration you need to do for this model. So then we need the application. So I'm going to copy that app here, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay. So as you can see, we have certain paths here. So here you're importing the libraries, and here you're defining the CUDA visible devices. So you're gonna use the first one. Actually, where you have one, and it's gonna use it the same one. And here you define the model name. Here you're setting up the tokenizer for this model name, and here you are downloading the model. And on the latest part, this is not efficient. I'm gonna tell you why. Here, when you download the model, you're downloading the model on your local disk. I mean, on the disk of the server that you're running this thing up. And here, you're moving the wave of the model from your CPU through your GPU. And then you're changing the decimals of the numbers of the wave. Because I don't know actually what is the exact number of decimal for each number of the wave. But here we're converting them into float 16, okay? And the final part is just prompting on the model and using the OCR. So I'm gonna crop that thing, I'm gonna paste it here. So we can just run the first part. So this is gonna download the model from the Hugging Face repo. So we just need to wait about a minute because okay, yeah, it's downloading that. Okay, the size is nearly 7 gigabytes because it's small. It's a small model. It's not that big. 6 gigabytes. So it's downloading here right now. So the red text is just warnings. Don't worry about it. Okay, it's done. So now we can just use the model. So we can just check one thing. Okay, this is the example that I have right now. This is a receipt on Walmart. So I'm just gonna upload this thing and I'm gonna use the model, the OCR model, to get the text of this thing. This is a PNG image. So you can just put that here. PNG. And its name is receipt PNG instead of JPG. Okay. The output path, I'm going to put in the output folder. It's the output folder. It's in the output folder. It's an, yeah, it should be output, just output. And it's like we're putting the image here and then we say convert the document to Markdown. Yep. You can just run that thing up. Okay, it's working. So I'm gonna put your zip aside with this thing. So you can see it's Multimodal. It's actually here. The cool thing of the DeepSeek-OCR is that this is a model that you can see on streaming. So it's kind of cool to see how it generates a text. Low prices you can trust every day. Yeah, it's nearly the final part. Okay, it's done. So it takes 55 seconds. So if you check the output folder, you can see the result in Modal format, which is this format, the exact same thing of this thing, and result with boxes, which is kind of interesting of this model. I'm gonna download it here and open it. I'm gonna put it aside. Yeah. Okay, so the right part is the original one. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna put it here on left, and this one on right. Okay, so you can see it actually label each part of the document, each part of the receipt. One more is title, text, text, text. So you can see how it works. It's nearly every there. Actually, there are certain things that I don't know, honestly, if the model recognizes, like the tax one part or the visa 10 or the total part. But you can check that on the Markdown file. Okay, cool. And yeah, this is the first part. This is the basic part, how you can use it, how you can use an image and use the model to run this OCR process. Okay, so on the next part, we're going to develop a workflow in order to get this process automatized on cloud. So yeah, that's it. Have a nice day.